guys, it's Lisa back with another video for you for Lisa Wise Designs, and today we're going to be finishing up our crate. This is the mini album that we finished. Isn't it adorable? I really like this little background paper that I made that change on. So if you'd like to pick up a kit to make both this mini album and this crate, you can go over to my Etsy shop. The link is down below and it has everything in it that you need to make both of these projects. So yesterday where we left off was we finished our crate. So cute. And we've got to do the inside matting and we've got to put on our hardware. So what you want to do is you want to grab a ruler and you want to come down 3/4 of an inch and you want to make a little horizontal line. So I'm at the bottom of page 17 on the cutting guide if you're following along. And then from there, I'm gonna have to stand up. From there, I'm going to draw a horizontal line. And forgive the holes that are already there. My camera went out on me, so I'm kind of having to start over. So on the other side, the same thing. I'm gonna make a horizontal line at 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm just gonna kind of draw that line out here. Okay. See if I can get this to there we go. So you can kind of see the line here. I get it off autofocus here. Okay, so you want to come over from the left-handed side 5/8 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch, somewhere right in between those two lines. And you want to make a mark right on that horizontal line. Then we're going to simply take our We Are Memory Keepers punch, and we're going to use the 3/16 side, which is the larger. Let me clean this out here. And we're going to punch a hole. So it does not take much effort to punch these holes. This is a great investment if you do not own one. Once you've got that hole punched, you're going to put this little mini drawer pull right over the hole and line up the other side right on the horizontal line that you drew here. And you're simply going to draw a circle where the other hole needs to be punched. Take that off and punch the hole, and we're going to do that on both sides. So once you've got those holes punched, then we're going to line our holes up. We're going to put our brads through. All right, and so carefully, I'm going to, because you got a little bit of play to go right to left with these holes. So you might want to see if you need to move yours over a little bit to the right or left to make it where it looks center. I'm just going to eyeball center. I'm going to kind of hold mine in place and hold the brad in place here. You just kind of flatten those out on the back of the project, and I'll show you in just a second. So now I just kind of flatten those out on the inside. Okay, and we'll kind of turn it where it falls, where it's not on top of all that chipboard. If I can get it where you can see it a little bit right there. You see the metal down in there? Right, isn't that pretty? It's so elegant. I just love these little miniature pulls. And of course I'm going to get rid of my lines here the best I can. Yeah, I could even get down underneath there. Turn this over, do the same thing, and then we can finally mat that inside piece. Let me be smart about this and go ahead and erase on this side. Sometimes I try to do things the hard way, or maybe I just forget. I'll just blame that. I just forget what I'm doing. All right, little Brad. Yeah, I've used him 2 or 3 times, so he doesn't like it. I promise this is the last time. As I look at my camera to make sure it all is working. All right, I'm gonna push this more toward the right to see if I can kind of get that more centered on my project. Like I say, it's not an exact measurement right in the center. So anywhere from starting with 5/8 on that side to 3/4 of an inch will get you kind of right in the center here. All right, so once you have this where you want it and you've got those brads kind of in place, This will be the last time you can mess with them, so go ahead and get them exactly where you want and make sure they're as tight as you want. And then we're going to go back to these pieces that we cut out and inked back, was it one video ago, I think? And whoopsie, I almost messed up. I'm sure somebody was like, no, follow your own instructions. So remember, we had these pieces of chipboard down in there because the chipboard comes, well, let me see if I can actually get this where you can see it. Because the chipboard comes together and you've got pieces that are sticking up. So there's really good pictures of this. Let me see. On page, yeah, the bottom of 18. It's easier to even show you in the picture here. So I'm going to be putting glue right in the middle where I have those pieces of chipboard sticking up and right along the edges there. So yeah, that's a much better representation than trying to play Twister with this project. The one thing I would do that I did not do is dry fit it first, make sure it all fits in there. You can see where I'm putting my glue. I'm going to make sure it's facing up as I put it in there. And push it down into place. Like I said, art glitter glue gives you very little time to get that in there. Okay. I think all is well. I think all is good. It might have been a teensy bit too tall. So I'm definitely going to check this other side before I glue it down. I think it's right at, if I put it all the way to the bottom, it comes right to the very tippy top. So I'm just going to add some extra glue at the top because I was still trying to fit it before it actually glued. So there we go. That looks good. Cute. I just love this paper. So I think we're good to go. Just look at me doing it again. Oh my gosh, it is such a habit. But I don't want it to glue in that centerpiece and have that big warped look. So I only want to put glue on the chipboard pieces that are sticking up. Once again, just like that. That is so funny. I told you, even if I tell myself, it's habits die hard. How many times you have to do something before it becomes habit? Isn't it like 2 weeks or something is the rule of thumb of doing something daily before it becomes habit? Well, I don't know. It would take me a long time to do that, to remember. Okay, so now we're good to go. And look, we can finally see what our little book's gonna look like in there. Isn't that adorable? Adorable. So now all that's left is to do some final decorating. So this is what I did, and this is what you have the materials for if you want to do it just like this. I took a tag, I'm going to put some stickers here, and I'm going to pop these up here on stickers, and I'm going to back these. So this is what I'm going to do with mine. So let's get started on that. Let's see what we've got left in our kit. We have an 8-inch or so piece of ribbon. We've got a tag. We've got some black and white twine. We've got this little red clip, and we've got some foam here. So let me see. I don't think, yes I did. I don't think, yes I did. I trimmed this down 1 inch. So basically it's going to be 3 3/4. It's going to be 3 3/4 long by 2 1 2 3/8. So all I'm going to do is, if you got the kit, is cut off 1 inch off the bottom. Be all you had to do. But for those following along at home on the cutting guide, this is 2 3/8 wide by 3 3/4 long. I'm just going to hit this on one side because it's going to be glued down into place. And then I'm going to get out my stickers. And if you have a whole piece of black left, or if you have scrap pieces of black left, I think I used most of my black. I've got 2 whole sheets left. All right, where's my stickers? Come on. Hello. There we go. Let's hide. anyway. So you can decide if you want to match your Santa and your two ornaments or not, and you can see pictures of this finished one. Let's see. Yeah, on page 20 and 21, you can kind of see where I'm going with this here. All right, so one thing I know for sure, I want to use this blue strip here. So I need 3 3/4 again. How come I can't remember? So right about there is what I need. And trim. I'm going to trim a little bit of excess off so I can just trim what I don't need. So if you like the look of distressing, do this now before you put it on there. So I'm putting this on the right side of the tag, starting at the bottom, going flush to the bottom all the way up to the top here, pushing down, and then I'm going to turn it over where I can get back that tag shape and just trim that off. There we go. Cute. I love how I can use stickers. Makes it so easy. Now, I like the look of Santa being on the black cardstock, so I'm going to definitely put him back on there matte. So I'm going to take this piece of black I had left over and I folded it in half. I'm going to put that loop through the front, and then I'm going to pull the little tails through it to make my tag. And once again, I'm going to take the ends and fold them in half and use my scissors coming up from the bottom at an angle toward my fingers at the top, and then cut. And then this one to be a little longer. Okay. Cute so far. I'm going to move these off out of my way for a minute. All right, and move that too. I'm going to grab, like I say, if you have a scrap of black, I would grab that. But I think I've used most of mine. And then go back to the stickers. I think I'm just I want to keep losing my stickers here. All right. I'm going to put a little bit on the edges here. So you can use it just like this, or you can mat it. I'm going to put him down right here in the corner. All right, and since I am matting, I'm going to do all of them at the same time since I know which ones I want to use. So I picked a couple of ornaments, and I'm a sucker for these that look like they're from the 50s, 60s maybe. I'm not sure which time frame, but I absolutely love them. So this one that's red, put this over here. And then I also want the blue one that looks like that. So it's, I think, right below it here. I think that's all the ones I'm going to mat. Okay. And they also lent themselves really well to this technique that I wanted to use with the twine. That here. And then it seems like there was one thing. Oh, the Christmas Day. Where should that be? This one right here. These stickers are right on trend. I mean, they are so cute. I'm gonna put this one right in the corner. Just love. So, just gonna cut away the excess. I'm gonna cut Santa off. Same thing with the ornaments. Fussy cut that in just a second. And then I'm going to trim it. Whoa. I'm going to trim this with my trimmer. Like I say, I'm not putting my tools away. They're all up in the way. Since I want straight lines on this, I'm going to kind of cut this straight, maybe, instead of using my scissors. Still might not be exact, but better than what I could have done with my scissors. There we go. Just trying to keep an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Okay, so there's that one. Now, the way I like to fussy cut is I'm not the best at it in the world. I kind of had to make myself a road map. So I draw or sketch about 1/8 of an inch away. You can see that my lines here, to make myself feel a little more confident. Because if I just take a glance at it and look and think that I don't have enough paper left, I can go back and re-sketch in that area. But when you cut it, yeah, you're just kind of at the mercy, right? That looks pretty good. So, I finally bought me some cutter bee scissors, and I have been practicing with them, and I tell you, they really do the trick. And I have another pair I want to try out, the Haberdashery Scissors. I have those too. I have not played with those yet, but I think they're going to be good too. But this has made a world of difference in my fussy cutting. I was gapping things up and getting jagged edges, and it was because I was using too large of the blade, I guess. The blade was too long for this delicate work. And also, I'm assuming, you know, some things the name brand does really matter. So just real quickly, that looks really good. Now to me, I see I'm probably gonna cut off too much and get all mad at myself. But to me, it's worth that extra little bit of time to draw out, since I'm not very confident in my fussy cutting abilities. Now see, I'm gonna be mad in a minute. Stop, Lisa. Put that off to the side. I'm going to do the same thing with my ornaments. And these ornaments, this will help it not to get so lost on this paper. Okay. I've watched many people do this, and they say, like, hold your scissors basically still and turn your paper. You know, I have tried that. I've tried lots of different techniques, but I guess only practice makes perfect, right? They say is absolutely the truth. You just have to do it. And if it's not exactly perfect, no one is really going to be the wiser unless you really, really make it terrible. If you make it halfway decent, it's going to be fine. I'm going to cut off the extra around this one and just cut. I think I'm pretty good on this one. Not a lot of things to get wrong, but see, I can't talk and do it at the same time. So I have a scan and cut, and it will do things like this. But sometimes it's so frustrating. I'm not sure how to get all my settings just right. I've learned to up the colors that it scans, but it's still not exactly perfect here. So I'm going to go back to my hole punch, and on the smaller end this time, the 1/8, I'm going to punch a hole right where the top of this ornament would be, like right here. So I'm going to line this up as best I can and punch a hole right there, just like this. It's not going to be exact. Can you see here on this white? It's a little difficult to see where I punch, but punch right there. Punch the other one. Okay. So even if you don't get it exactly, it's going to be fine because the twine's going to help cover a lot of this up. So this is what we're going to do now. So let's start layering our tag. I'm going to put Santa all the way over to the left. And kind of down here, just making sure I don't cover up my hole at the top. Then this Christmas Day is going to kind of overlap the toy bag down to the bottom. That's going to kind of help ground this piece also, like this. Okay. All right, we're also going to come back and use some foam tape, but for now This is the time you want to kind of look at your crate and see if you want this to be the front or this to be the front. Sometimes you like the lay of the pattern paper, how it turned out, one over the other. So just decide which one of those you like the most. Then you're going to simply adhere this tag on. Let's see. Let me give you a measurement here. So 1.5 inches over from the left-hand side. Just gonna make a little mark. And that's about where the end of my tag is going to go. So I want to glue it down on the top. I'm just gonna let the bottom be free. And then we're gonna make it look like this clip is holding it on there. And you might wanna do that. You might not want to glue yours down, but I'm gonna glue mine from the top. So I'm just gonna put glue right here on the top piece of the tag. I want this to be permanent. And I'm gonna glue it, not where the tag, I don't want my tag to stick out, so I'm gonna kind of glue it right where the tag is even with the top of the crate. Okay, and then I'm gonna put my clip here just like that for decorations. You've got the red and the black, cute. All right, so let's work on these bad boys. So let's say you've got about 20 inches, a little more of twine. You have plenty, so you can just cut that in half. You got lots to work with. So what I did on this one is I'm going to put it through the front and tie a knot in it, like this. And then I'm going to punch a hole in my crate, do the same thing, tie a knot on the top. So you can either see the knot on the back, or you can do what I did and use stickers and glue to cover those knots. Well, you don't really need a knot on the back if you're gonna cover it up. You're just gonna glue it. So, and the same thing here. So if you wanna do it just like mine, you can just follow along. I'm going to tie a simple knot with my fingers to get started here, and then trim it off, just leaving 1/4 inch or so tail. And then I'm going to feed it through the front of the blue ornament, just like that. And then I'm going to put my ornament right here, and I want this tail to kind of come up to about right here on the top of the crate. So let's see, about 1 inch, 1.25 inches over. So I'll put 1.25 inches here. I'm just gonna kind of make me a mark. Uh-oh, latte here, somebody. Right there. And then I'm going to go back to this, and let's see if it'll punch that far. Yeah, right there. Okay. I'm gonna move this red one out of my way. So grab your little foam tape. I'm going to take one of those squares and basically cut it into 4 pieces. Okay. And then I'm going to add some extra glue on top. I'm going to put it right in the center of that ornament. Okay. And take the backing off. It's UPS. I wonder if she was barking. Okay, so then I'm gonna put some glue on the back of that foam. Sorry about that. I didn't think they would deliver this late. It's like 7 o'clock. And I'm going to kind of put it off to the side here where it's at a little angle. And you can trim this top piece off if you want or not. I want to kind of see what it looks like here and kind of see how much slack you need. Put that in my fingers and then roll this around. And just going to make a very loose knot in case I need to retie. See what that looks like. And then I'm going to push it through this hole. So I'm going to wet my fingers and do it, but of course there's tons of different ways to do this, right? You can put Scotch tape on it to get it through there, which I might have to do, or I might get my bead threader out if I can't get it. But that works pretty good. So if I tighten my knot, this is kind of the loose that I'm gonna have, and I like that. So I'm just gonna kind of not pull it all the way out, but tighten up my knot and pull it back like this. Cute. And this will kind of come over this way. All right. So on the back, I don't really want mine to show, so I'm gonna get a piece of Scotch tape, really small piece. I'm gonna pull this over tight, and I'm just gonna put a little piece of tape over it to hold it into place, and I'm gonna put a sticker over that. All right, but for now, there we go. We'll keep this other piece of tape for the next go around. So I'm going to do the same thing with the red one. Tie a knot. Okay, trim it up. Push it through the front. All right. Take that quarter of the foam tape. Extra glue. Put that down right in the center. A second to dry. Pull that up. Okay, so let's see. I wanted this one to be up here at the top, kind of coming off the bottom. And then let's see what I did on this one. And then it went way up to the top. Okay, so glue here on the bottom of the top slat. I'll get it out in a minute. And then I'm going to punch a hole right near the very top here. Just kind of random. So I don't need much slack on this one at all. I can even get it that right length here. And tie my knot. Really pull it down. Oh, that's way too long. Come on, untie. Really work this down here. There we go. That's gonna be good. Now I'm gonna push this through. Okay, cute, 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 cute. All right, I'm gonna grab my Scotch tape. Pull this one I'm going to pull down, so, and then tape over it and trim it. So this is kind of what it looks like from the inside here, and on the outside here. This is very cute, very, very cute. And so we're going to kind of fill in the blanks there with some snowflakes in just a second. So what I did is I went here and I said, what will fill, which ones am I really not going to use up that much of stickers? And so I went and got a holly and a piece of candy. So I'm going to get this piece of candy here and this piece of holly here. Okay, I'm not even going to put any ink on them because I really don't want to bring attention to it. And I'm simply going to put glue all over it and use it to cover up the hole and the string. And I'm just going to hold it down. It's just going to take a minute for that to catch because it's going to be dimensional. And you're really not even going to notice it once this is done. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this little piece of candy. I may not have held it quite as long as it needed. I'll do that. You can always use clips. I like to use clothespins when I'm doing something like this. So you can see that in there. It kind of looks like a little something extra. Okay, so now let's get to working on some snowflakes. So I like to use a lot of these. So here's the blue one. I'm not going to put any ink on these. I don't want them to look like dirty snowflakes, which they kind of have that look if you start doing that to a snowflake. unfortunately. So I'm just going to be cutting some small pieces of foam. Lay my snowflake down, put that on the back. Well, you know what happens? It really helps if you take the backer off first. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit extra glue this time. So this bigger blue one, I'm gonna put over here by Santa. Kind of help pull all that together with the foam. And then I'm gonna put like a red one here and a green one here, and I'm gonna bring some of that blue down here. Green. So I'm just gonna be putting foam on these, remembering to take off the backers and glue them on, and I'll be right back. All right, so here's what I ended up with. I went ahead and just used 3. I used blue, red, and green in kind of a triangle shape. With this one I used 4, but my red ornament was kind of over a little bit on this one. So you can kind of play around with that. I love how it has turned out. So what's next for this project? Well, we've got our crate and our mini album done. So we've got all that we had left was a little bit of string and some foam tape. If you didn't use it all, I'll put that in my stash over here. So if you want to hang around tomorrow, let me grab my cards. Sorry. I'm going to show you how to use your leftover paper and your leftover stickers to make a card like this. I may have to wait till it's a little bit darker in this room to do this tomorrow, but see how pretty this is with the stamping on here? And you fold your paper, and we're going to use stickers. We're going to make a couple of slimline ones with this beautiful paper. I just love how you can use up your stickers, especially on Christmas paper. Here's another one of those. Isn't that really pretty? Santa. And I even try to use every sticker up by putting things on the inside, because I don't want to come back to this paper when there's only scraps left and a couple of stickers, but I don't want it to go to waste either. So anyway, we will work on these tomorrow night. So I will see you at the same time, same place tomorrow. If you decide to make one of these crate, mini album, or can't even think, cards, please go over to our Facebook page and post pictures, and let's give each other some inspiration. Thank you guys as always, and I'll see you here tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks. Bye.